Artificial Intelligence Part 2. The impact of artificial intelligence on human society. Here below is data collected from www.ncbi.nlm.nih.gov website and it follows. Positive impacts. 1. Fast and accurate diagnostics. IBM's Watson computer has been used to diagnose with the fascinating result. Loading the data to the computer will instantly get AI's diagnosis. AI can also provide various ways of treatment for physicians to consider. The procedure is something like this: to load the digital results of physical examination to the computer that will consider all possibilities and automatically diagnose whether or not the patient suffers from some deficiencies and illness and even suggest various kinds of available treatment. Point 2. Socially therapeutic robots. Pets are recommended to senior citizens to ease their tension and reduce blood pressure, anxiety, loneliness, and increase social interaction. Now cyborgs have been suggested to accompany those lonely old folks, even to help do some house chores. Therapeutic robots and the socially assistive robot technology help improve the quality of life for seniors and physically challenged. Point 3. Reduce errors related to human fatigue. Human error at workforce is inevitable and often costly. The greater the level of fatigue, the higher the risk of errors occurring. AI technology, however, does not suffer from fatigue or emotional distraction. It saves errors and can accomplish the duty faster and more accurately. Point 4. Artificial intelligence-based surgical contribution. AI-based surgical procedures have been available for people to choose. Although this AI still needs to be operated by the health professionals, it can complete the work with less damage to the body. The Da Vinci Surgical System, a robotic technology allowing surgeons to perform minimally invasive procedures, is available in most of the hospitals now. These systems enable a degree of precision and accuracy far greater than the procedures done manually. The less invasive the surgery, the less trauma it will occur and less blood loss, less anxiety of the patients. Point 5. Improved radiology. The first computed tomography scanners were introduced in 1971. The first magnetic resonance imaging (MRI) scan of the human body took place in 1977. By the early 2000s, cardiac MRI, body MRI, and fetal imaging became routine. The search continues for new algorithms to detect specific diseases as well as to analyze the results of scans. All those are the contribution of the technology of AI. Point 6. Virtual presence. The virtual presence technology can enable a distant diagnosis of the diseases. The patient does not have to leave his/her bed, but using a remote presence robot, doctors can check the patients without actually being there. Health professionals can move around and interact almost as effectively as if they were present. This allows specialists to assist patients who are unable to travel. Let us see the negative impact the AI will have on human society. 1. A huge social change that disrupts the way we live in the human community will occur. Humankind has to be industrious to make their living, but with the service of AI, we can just program the machine to do a thing for us without even lifting a tool. Human closeness will be gradually diminishing as AI will replace the need for people to meet face to face for idea exchange. AI will stand in between people as the personal gathering will no longer be needed for communication. 2. Unemployment is the next because many works will be replaced by machinery. Today, many automobile assembly lines have been filled with machineries and robots, forcing traditional workers to lose their jobs. Even in supermarket, the store clerks will not be needed anymore as the digital device can take over human labor. 3. Wealth inequality will be created as the investors of AI will take up the major share of the earnings. The gap between the rich and the poor will be widened. The so-called M-shaped wealth distribution will be more obvious for New issues surface not only in a social sense but also in AI itself, as the AI being trained and learned how to operate the given task can eventually take off to the stage that human has no control, thus creating unanticipated problems and consequences. It refers to AI's capacity, after being loaded with all needed algorithm, may automatically function on its own course, ignoring the command given by the human controller. 5. The human masters who create AI may invent something that is racial bias or egocentrically oriented to harm certain people or things. For instance, the United Nations has voted to limit the spread of nucleus power in fear of its indiscriminate use to destroying humankind or targeting on certain races or region to achieve the goal of domination. AI is possible to target certain race or some programmed objects to accomplish the command of destruction by the programmers, thus creating world disaster. Some cautions to be reminded: despite all the positive promises that AI provides, human experts, however, are still essential and necessary to design, program, and operate the AI from any unpredictable error from occurring. Beth Kindig, a San Francisco-based technology analyst with more than a decade of experience in analyzing private and public technology companies, published a free newsletter indicating that although AI has a potential promise for better medical diagnosis, human experts are still needed to avoid the misclassification of unknown diseases, because AI is not omnipotent to solve all problems for human kinds. There are times when AI meets an impasse, and to carry on its mission, it may just proceed indiscriminately, ending in creating more problems. Thus, vigilant watch of AI's function cannot be neglected. This reminder is known as physician in the loop. The question of an ethical AI consequently was brought up by Elizabeth Gibney in her article published in Nature to caution any bias and possible societal harm. The Neural Information Processing Systems (NeurIPS) conference in Vancouver, Canada in 2020 brought up the ethical controversies of the application of AI technology, such as in predictive policing or facial recognition, that due to bias algorithms can result in hurting the vulnerable population. For instance, the NeurIPS can be programmed to target certain race or decree as the probable suspect of crime or troublemakers.